Today, the Pentagon is righting a wrong. More than 800 service members forced out under the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy have had their service records upgraded to honorable discharges. John Ramos has more on what the change means for LGBTQ veterans who've been denied the benefits they've earned for decades.
The repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell was meant to change the way the military would act in the future. Today's announcement deals with the past. When President Obama signed the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it came with a promise.
No longer will tens of thousands of Americans in uniform be asked to live a lie.
But 13 years after the repeal, many who served their country in uniform still dealt with the pain of a dishonorable discharge. Former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta considered it a betrayal of ideals.
To be true to what we tried to do by getting rid of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it's not just about the future, it's also about making sure that we correct the past.
That's why today's announcement was so important.
Of the nearly 13,500 individuals who were administratively separated under Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy and served long enough to receive a merit-based characterization of service, 96% now have an honorable discharge.
As recently promised, the Pentagon has upgraded the discharge status of nearly every eligible service member they reviewed who were released during Don't Ask, Don't Tell, without them even having to ask for it.
This is a huge day. This is a huge day. And I think what makes it's 800 people, so it doesn't sound like it's a huge number of people. But the fact that the Pentagon itself initiated this, the fact that the Pentagon proactively went through these records and just automatically discharged them, is a huge sign. It shows a willingness to make the effort to right that wrong.
Zoe Dunning retired from the Navy as a full commander, enduring 2 discharge hearings after coming out as a lesbian in 1993. She's not sure why they let her stay in, but she remembers the pain from it.
I had served my country honorably and gotten top-rated performance reviews. And by just kind of saying, this is who I am, they were so quick to just turn 180 degrees and initiate discharge proceedings against me. Was really hard to grasp and hard to accept.
Dunning says there's still a lot to be done to realize full LGBT integration in the military, but she believes the effort is sincere.
Today's news demonstrates that, yes, the Pentagon's willing to address past wrongs and make them right, and so hopefully they'll continue that effort.
Dunning says it's possible this could lead to a widespread exoneration of anyone who has ever discharged for being gay. It would take a lot of paperwork to look into each case of dishonorable discharge, but then it took a lot of effort to build those cases in the first place.
The change in discharge status can have real importance to these service members. It could provide benefits like home loans, health care, GI bills, tuition assistance, and even access to some government jobs that had previously been denied.